Welcome back from that break, and now we'll be digging into the implications of the decision, examine the potential consequences for Nigeria's democratic future, and also explore innovative solutions that might just revitalize the country's flagging democratic engagements. And I'm not alone on this discussion. Joining me is, of course, one of your favorite analysts you've occasionally seen on your screen. He's no other person than Ambassador Samuel Danjuma, who is the zonal coordinator on Northwest Central PAF. He joins me live in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Well, it was last week that this issue or this bill was sponsored and it passed the second reading. Now, I wasn't able to get your opinion, but before we get into, though it's been rejected, before we get into the rejection, what came to your mind at first when you saw the second passing of that bill, where Nigerians are mandated or were meant to be mandated to vote? What came to your mind?
First, that's the beauty of democracy, where we have the opportunity to decide on rules and on legislative duties, activities, whereby it affects our lives and affects our well-being. That's the beauty of democracy. Yes, somebody proposed that bill, and the bill went through the first reading, the second reading, and I think it was supposed to go for public hearing, and before it was rejected. And the beauty of it is, thank God our National Assembly members are under this administration are people who really listen to the yearnings of and the aspiration of the people. And it was like trying to see what the people, if really that's what the people want. Yes, the first thing I would step with is we should look at what was the motive behind the coming up with that bill in the first place. Yes, it would have been good to mandate people to vote. Why did I say it would have been good to mandate people? Voting is our right. It's a right of every citizen of this country. It's our right that we should vote. And we find out that a lot of people don't vote, maybe because they are not aware that is their right, and maybe the person who came up with that piece of legislature wanted to see to it that every Nigerian participates in deciding who becomes their leader, who becomes their president, who becomes their governor, who becomes their National Assembly members, who becomes their chairman, and who also becomes their councillor. It would have gone well, but the place I had little concerns about were the fine that if you don't vote, you're going to be fined so amount and the rest of them. I didn't think that was really necessary, but I think right now, it's a settled matter. The bill has been rejected, and maybe there's room for reintroducing it. Maybe they will go and look at those areas that Nigerians had concerns and bring it back. I don't know, but I don't think that's really what we need now. What we need is being able to bring that confidence in the minds of Nigerians that yes, when you vote, your vote actually counts.
Yes, I that's what we really need. Confidence, but the thing is, Nigerians are beginning to ask. To me, I look at it from one angle, it's a normal thing and it's a good thing, because we can't just keep complaining of bad leadership, bad governance, and you don't even go out there to cast your votes. But on the other hand, it does look like Nigerians have lost so much confidence in INEC, and that's the reason why you hear some people say, a vote necessarily does not count, so there's no point in me going out there to go waste my energy. And you talked about reforms. So what are those reforms you think that should take place for people to, for people to gain confidence again in INEC?
I always say it when I have this opportunity. The problem with Nigerians are not laws. We have a lot of laws. The problems with Nigeria are the implementation of those laws. I think what we should be more concerned about going into the 2027 general election should be more voter education, enlightening the people to know their rights, know that to vote is your right to vote, and to be voted for is your constitutional right. Let people understand that yes, your vote actually counts when you vote. If you say vote doesn't count, then how do we get leaders in position of authority? Our votes count. Our votes, our power. Nigerians should understand, and citizens of Nigeria should know that your vote is your power. That's the only way you can decide who becomes your leader at every stage of the way. No, the thing is, you need to vote. You have to vote. Your vote is your power. That's the only way you can, like you just said, people keep on sitting down and complaining. When you complain about leadership, it's because you do not participate in the process of bringing such to power. And when you don't even participate in voting in a leader, you lose the moral right to even criticize that leader when he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So it is time Nigerians should know that we have to vote whenever it's an election year, whenever it's an election season. We have to vote. The government should do more voter education. We have done a lot of reform in our electoral system. We have almost gone completely digital. Most of the elections that has happened after the 2023 elections have been elections that we all see that were transmitted right from the polling unit and the rest of them. So there are a lot of improvements going on. There's a lot of innovation going on in with INEC, and a lot of improvements going on. Yes, there's room for more improvement, but the major thing is for people to have that confidence in the electoral system, is for them to even know their rights and know that their vote is their power.
All right, so what are the government likely to step in the wake up of the bill rejection? Will they revisit the continuous issue of compulsory voting or pivot towards the electoral reform initiative designed at least to boost electoral participation?
I just said it that we have a lot of laws. 2007.
But let's start from somewhere. So where should we start from?
2007, the administration of late President Musa Yar'Adua set up the Waste Committee to look into our electoral system and come up with recommendations to improve our electoral system. And those recommendations were adopted by the Goodluck Jonathan administration in 2011. And the Buhari administration also came and did some other improved on what was on ground already by introducing the Jonathan administration introduced the card readers. The Buhari administration also came up with the server and the back end, the back end server and the rest of that transmission of electoral results right from the polling unit straight to the back end server. So a lot of innovations are going on in the electoral system. The government is doing everything possible to build that confidence in the people to know that yes, when you cast your vote will also count. But the thing is, why I advocate for more of voter education is to let people even know their rights, which is their right to vote and to be voted for. Is to let people know that if you don't go out to vote, you have lost the moral right to criticize any government that eventually gets in there. So we have to vote whenever it's election year so that we can decide who becomes our leader. Government has been working on the electoral process and making people understand, making it go more digital. I think we've been hearing where they're talking about bringing in diaspora voting and the rest of them, which I know with time we'll surely get there. It's a process. It's a process that is revolving every other day, and we're keen into the 21st century of doing things. That's the technological wise. Is giving back that confidence that people really wanted from INEC. And I can tell you that with these new innovations coming in, by the 2027 election, people will have had more confidence in INEC than they've had even before now.
All right, so viewers, at this point, let's remind you that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to join the conversation, or of course, your own opinion. Right, so what is the way forward? When you talk about reform, how can stakeholders work together, collaborate to at least build a more inclusive, participatory and transparent democratic process that truly reflects the will of Nigerian people?
I want to let Nigerians understand that the problem we have presently is not about the laws, it's about the players. We have robust legislature for our elections, but the problem is the players. It is now time for people to begin to speak to their conscience and understand that getting power is not about getting power, it's about you being there to serve the people and serve the interest of the people. When people begin to understand that going into elective offices is to work, not just to gain political power, but to work for the people, to improve the lives of the people, to come up with policies and come up with programs that will better the lots of the people, to make things easier for the people. I think by then people will begin to appreciate what we already have. Another thing I want people to also know is that people should begin to scrutinize people's electoral promises, electoral campaign blueprints and the rest of them, to see that those are really, and also check people's antecedents before every election year. What have they been able to do off politics, and what are they doing in politics? How have they been able to better and improve the lives of the people, so that we'll be able to get quality people in positions that will better the lives of the people. It's not about the laws. The laws are beautiful. It's not about the players. The players should see that political power is not to victimize the people, it's not to oppress the people. It is actually for you to be there and work for the betterment of the people. And I think from what is happening under this administration, we could see that this administration believes and feels the pulse of the people, and all the policies and programs they have been putting in place are things that are supposed to have been put in place before now. We could hear the president talking about that people went and were hoarding food, thinking that the price of food were going to go up so that they can sell, and now they are finding that the economic policy of the present administration has begun to yield result, and they have no choice than begin to bring out those food to begin to sell out to the people. And this has drastically affected the price of foodstuff, and price of foodstuff is beginning to come down on a daily basis in the market, and people are now beginning to be able to afford the basics of life. So people going into elective office should know that they are going there to serve and serve the people.
All right, we have someone here. Hello, good evening, if you can hear me. Oh, we lost that caller. You might have to call us back. Okay, let me take you through a bit into the political space. We've seen so much, so much happening in the political space lately. We've seen people they campaign from the opposition party, which some people will even argue that, oh, there is no more opposition party. We've seen talks out of we've seen so much happening in the political space ahead of the 2027. Give me your own assessment of what you think that is been happening lately in the political space.
Now, you talked about people decamping from the opposition to the ruling party. Now, you find that they make it, when this administration has made it difficult for people to even see things to criticize them about, why won't people come over to their side? This administration is doing a lot, like I said earlier. This is the first time since the return of democracy that governors under this administration are having much money to do projects and do things to better the lives of their people as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. And we've seen a lot of economic policies of this administration that is beginning to yield increase on the daily basis. We've seen foreign direct investment that is on the increase. We've seen that our foreign reserves has increased for the first time since 2015. We have hit over $40 billion in reserves. Our debts are being paid off on daily basis. Both international and local debts are being paid off. State governments are paying off their debts. I think Jigawa State is leading in the repayment of debt. Jigawa has done almost 70-something or 80-something% of the repayment of their debts as a result of the policies of this administration, bringing in more money for the government to be able to carry out government policies and carry out government programs. So with all this happening, we can see the coastal road from Lagos to Calabar going on. We can see the highways from Sokoto all the way to Badagry. A lot of progress. Even in the FCT where we reside, you can see the FCT has become a construction site in the advent of this administration. So these are things that people are beginning to see. If I was criticizing the government because of non-performance, and I find out that the government then is doing excellently well and doing what I expect them to do, why not? I have no choice than to align with that administration. I talked about price of food dropping on the daily basis, and it will continue dropping because the agricultural policy of this administration is there for food security and the rest of them. The president was in Katsina some few weeks ago where he went to commission their agricultural program. My host state, Niger State Governor, the former governor, is doing excellently well when it comes to agriculture, food production and food security and the rest of them. When it comes to my state, where I come from, Kogi State, the government is investing massively in agriculture. So with all this, it makes it difficult for opposition to even see something to criticize this administration for. So that's why you see that most of them, and if you watch, most of the governors who are coming are saying that we have seen this administration is there for the good of the people. We have seen this administration is there to better the lot of the people. We have seen this administration is putting in policies to move Nigeria forward. These are hard policies, no doubt about them. They have short-term pain that we have to go through, and with the long term, like the President just said last week, that his policies are long-term policies. We can see now. I read the journal before I got it, and Lagos, when it comes to tech, Lagos is one of the leading places in the world today, developing. This is as a result of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies that he put in place when he was governor of Lagos State 1999 to 2007. So this president is looking at the long term, not just short term policies. And like I always say, as a student of peace and conflict resolution, we look at the root cause of the problem, not just the surface dressing. And this president is attacking the root cause of our problem, from security you don't think to economy and to better the loss of the people. So that's why everybody is running into
you don't think the defection is as a result of the internal crisis that's been rocking the People Democratic Party? And some people have argued that most of these people, they campaign one, because of the internal crisis in PDP. Secondly, for them to just be able to secure tickets to come back.
Now, if you think it's just about because of the internal problem in the PDP, that's their problem. But I'll tell you, we have more than 10 political parties in this country. more than 10. They are more political. So why are they not going to other political parties? They are not just leaving the PDP. Yes, the PDP has a problem. Their roof is leaking. The umbrella has been punctured, and the rain is hitting them hard. This is raining season. But people are actually moving into the APC because they feel that the APC is a progressive party, a party who believes in the betterment of the people of Nigeria, a party whose policies and programs are improving the lives of Nigerians on a daily basis. Yes, there are pains as a result of the introduction of these policies, but as days are beginning to go by, it's beginning to get better, and people are beginning to see. I told you food prices are dropping drastically from what it used to be. A bag of rice now is less than 60,000. It wasn't up to that. It was more than that at the beginning of this administration and the rest. And this administration told us that we needed subsidy to go so that people can actually reap the dividends of the movement. We can't keep paying that huge amount of money, because I always say that there's this administration that left before this one that kept saying subsidy was a scam, but they end up paying the highest subsidy in the history of Nigeria. And this government is beginning to show people that yes, we mean well for Nigerians. There's more money, more government. I saw where someone wrote yesterday on social media that there's too much money in the hands of governors now, and they're building international conference centers. They are boosting tourism in their states to attract foreign investment and to better the lot of the people. So this government means well. This government is doing well, and people have no choice than to associate with a government that is performing and bettering the lots of the people.
Indeed. Hello, good evening, and glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good evening.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us on the show.
Thank you. My name is Comrade Owen Williams, calling from Katampewa.
All right, Comrade, please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm finding it very difficult to believe your guest. Very, very difficult in many ways.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want to go into that argument because it will make me go more upset. Because I really do not want to believe that the parties of those things that you mentioned in your street machine is there. A very high way to people PDP in power, like a bag of rice is less than something possible. I think that is so. Please help me tell him that in the environment Katampewa and here, we pay for electricity. We pay 100 something thousand a month for electricity. When PDP was in power, it was 2,000 plus. And we see the light. But now you pay 100 something thousand, you break AEDC to give you the electricity. In fact, if anything happens to the transformer, we'll go and contribute money to go and fix the transformer. We buy pole and install those things in our community to have light. See, we always see light at one time. Or mostly like partial darkness. And most ends, you pay 100 something thousand for electricity. That is one side.
Okay.
The road that they are talking about, the inside city center, I really appreciate Wike for doing that good job. Inside city center, how many of the poor in the rural area go to city center every day that benefit from those things? I remember they are asking the poor to get that money. I see this not so much. We love listening to the television station. So we don't expect everybody to come and tell us what we will know that is not true. Yeah, because that is only hope now, because many areas on television program in Abuja, we can't call to share our own view. So please, let's keep maintaining this television station so that we can call and listen to the program all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful evening. Someone is trying to disagree with your analysis.
Now, let me respond to him immediately. My brother, you should be hearing me now. When you talk about paying 100,000 for NEPA bill in a month and you don't see light, that means you are on estimated billing. So why don't you apply for meter so you pay for what you earn? Now, when you talk about light, we all know that light power generation has improved under this administration than the previous administration of the PDP he's talking about. Now, you can't tell me under the PDP you were paying 2,000.
Sorry, how many times would you remember that there have been a collapse of the national grid under this administration?
And after the collapse of the national grid, there was a committee set up to look into that collapse. And since that committee was set up and that issue was trashed, this more than 6 months after that, we have not had a national collapse.
It's not up to 6 months.
It's more than 6 months.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's more than 6 months. It's not up to 6 months. But the fact is, we have in the past 4 or 5 months.
Has electricity actually improved? Even with the tariff that it came with?
See, you know, in Nigeria, we are quick to criticize things. We are quick to
no, I'm just asking. I want to understand.
I'm trying to respond to him. We are quick to criticize him. We are quick to bring emotion to play when we talk about things. Call those of our brothers who live abroad. One of the most expensive things to pay for is energy. And we just want to have everything for free.
What do we actually have for free? No, Nigerians will ask, what do we actually have for free?
So, what?
We literally have nothing for free.
Now, even in Freetown, there's nothing free. So we should be responsible citizens. We have a role to play. First, you get your meter, you buy your credit, and you use what you buy.
So what should the people benefit from the government at least?
That is what the government is doing. Thank God he talked about road. Now he's saying that the road is just in the city center. I put it to him, if he has not been to Buhari, he should go to Buhari and see what's happening. If he has not been to Kuje, he should go to Kuje and see what the FCC minister is doing in Kuje. If he has not been to Gwagwalada area council, he should go. If he has not been to Kwali, he should also go to Kwali and see what's happening. If he has not been to Zuba, he should go to see what is happening. See, we should stop being emotional. We should stop being sentimental. Nigeria belongs to all of us. I'm a Nigerian. I don't have any intention of leaving this country going anywhere. I invest in this country. I put in a lot in this country, and I want to see this country work for myself and for my children and for my grandchildren yet unborn. I'm a patriotic Nigerian. I'm more concerned. I'm an advocate for good governance, for peace and good governance.
Just like we all are.
All I want is for a working nation. We have other countries. The people of UK long for Labour Party. I think today now they are beginning to regret bringing in the Labour Party Prime Minister and the rest. So it's not about, see, these are things that will take time to materialize. Are they materialized? He's talking about the bag of rice being so cheaper than what it was today under the PDP. Under the PDP, we all know what played out. And we can consider, see, prices are not only determined in this country. This thing happens worldwide. You don't just sit down one place and just think that everything you want to live in isolation. The world does not run in isolation. The world runs. There's interconnectivity. So you should stop being sentimental. You should stop being emotional. You should agree that yes, there's improvement.
Okay, so what is your view about what most Nigeria fear now, that with the rate of defection in other political party to APC, it seems likely that it's beginning to look like, we want to start practicing a one-party state?
No, we are not practicing a one-party state. We all know that. Even yesterday in Abuja here, there's a Northern Coalition meeting, summit that was held here in Abuja. Other political parties are doing what they should do. This is the beauty of democracy. There's one thing that Nigerians should know, that we have in our constitution. We have freedom of association. Wanting to be where you want to be. There's no law that says you should not be anywhere you want to be. Fine. There are those in the PDP.
Please give me a moment. I think someone has something to say. Hello, good evening, and it's glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. We lost that caller. Sorry, you might have to call us back. And please, when you do, ensure to tune down the volume of your TV set so we could hear you clearly. Ambassador, please go ahead.
You understand? So, we are not saying, there's no way we will slide into a one-party system. No. The PDP should put their house in order. The PDP was never prepared for being in opposition. We remember in this country where PDP said they were going to be in power for 60 years. That was in 2007. Thereabout, on that tail end of the Obasanjo administration and the advance of the Yar'Adua administration, PDP kept boasting that they were going to be in power for 60 years. So they were prepared to be in power. They were not prepared to stay out of power. And I expect PDP to do better than every other political party, because they have been a party who have been here before 1999 and have continued. They are the only political party that has not phased off. It has been PDP from 1999 till date. So they should have been able to have stood their ground, be able to criticize government constructively, and be able to pull through. But they were not prepared for being in opposition. That's just the problem there. This government has nothing to do with the problem of the PDP. It's a PDP affair. It's their problem. They should deal with their problem within themselves. They should work on internal mechanisms. That's what the APC have that the PDP is lacking. The APC is able to solve their problems internally. The PDP doesn't have that. Then we have people in the APC. We have a leader, the president of the president, who we rally around, who we believe in his ideology, we believe in his plans, we believe in his programs, we believe in his majorly we believe in his political ideology, whereby we believe that yes, he's a progressive minded person, where we believe that faces at this stage of life, we believe, and we're preparing the younger generation also to take over from the older generation. That's something the PDP lacks. So the PDP should deal with the internal problem. This government has no business with what is happening in the PDP. We're not intending to have a one-party state. We believe in the beauty of democracy, where you have more political parties. In the US, we have more than two political parties. We have more than the Republican and Democrats. But we only hear of the Republicans and the Democrats because they are the two more pronounced political parties. And that's what we should expect to see between the PDP and the APC.
So what do you think has been or is been the major case in PDP that seems to be unresolved?
They lack leadership. That's what the PDP lacks. The APC has leadership. PDP lacks leadership. PDP lacks internal crisis resolution mechanism. They don't have it. The APC has. You notice that when we have, there's no, see, one thing we should know, I said something here that as a student of peace and conflict resolution, conflict is inevitable when it comes to human relations. Certainly there's going to be conflict. But your ability to be able to manage conflict is what makes you stand out. And that's what is making the APC stand out. And that's why you see most of them are decamping into the APC. Because the APC has an internal crisis resolution mechanism, which the PDP doesn't have. The PDP should go and work on leadership. Now, in the PDP, there's nobody that speaks that anybody listens. Atiku is supposed to have done that. Atiku should be more concerned about being a leader at this time than even vying for president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Atiku is more concerned of being president of Nigeria than even thinking of. I put it to you, if it doesn't go well with him between now and 2027, he will decamp from the PDP to a party that he feels he will be able to get their ticket. That's not what matters. What matters, if you look at the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he has been consistent. He was in the AD metamorphosed into the AC, from the AC to the ACN, and all the way the CPC part of the CPC block came and today we have some of the AMPP and AMPPS and the new generation, new PDP then. And we have an APC today that has been able to survive longer than every other person thought that they will survive, because there is a leader who has an ideology that everybody believes in and are rallying around him. So that's what the PDP should be doing. Atiku should be more concerned about building a political party that will stand the test of time, that will groom. I've told him in most of his social media posts when he makes, I tell him, go and get a young man and prepare him from the north and prepare for 2031 and leave 2027. He should be more concerned about growing the next generation, not about just him alone. What happens after he's gone?
But we saw that there was a peace talk about Wike did not, agree to the peace talk of the peace deal that was
the minister of the FCT.
One would wonder, is Wike the actual problem of PDP?
If there's anybody that is a victim of what is happening in the PDP, is the FCT minister. In 2015, when the PDP lost the presidential election, all the big wigs, even Atiku, they come from the PDP in 2014 to go and seek the ticket of the APC. All the big wigs left. Saraki and all of them all left. The new generation, the new PDP, then the governor of Kwankwaso, that's Sokoto governor, and the rest, about 5 governors plus Atiku and the rest of them, walked out in Igbo Square and left the party. It took Wike and Ayofayoshi to hold this party. If 2 of them had also walked away, by now I don't think there would have been a PDP. So, with all fairness to the FCT minister, the FCT minister is not the problem of the PDP. The FCT minister is even a victim of what is happening in the APC. The PDP should sit down and look inward and be honest to themselves. There was the agreements that, if you watch most of the agreements that have been said, the minister of the FCT is someone that abides by agreement.
Yes.
He's someone, take it to the bank, he's someone that stands by agreement. If you agree on anything, he stands by it. But most of the time, he's been betrayed. And when he's betrayed and he begins to cry out, people begin to complain. You have a right on how you act. I have a right on how I react. So you don't expect to beat a child and expect him not to cry out. Let the PDP work on their internal mechanism, conflict resolution mechanism, and also make sure that they stand by agreements that they have entered into for the betterment of the party. Now, imagine the PDP. Somebody said that the agreement or the zoning is a PDP thing. Now, if the zoning is a PDP thing, and we have a southern president presently, it is morally right for the PDP to also zone their ticket in 2027 to the south. So, how would you expect the PDP now to zone their ticket to the north, and you expect the southerners in the PDP not to revolt? Why would they? They will. Before I left the PDP, there was this argument of the Southwest not producing the chairmanship of the PDP. The Southwest have always wanted to produce the chairmanship of the PDP, but they have not given them the opportunity to produce it. Presently, the chairman of the PDP is from the Northeast, sorry, and that position is for North Central. So you see that this is a party that don't even align by what they say. That's why they're having this problem. So it's none of the business.
But one would wonder, would you rather throw away the baby with the bathing water? Would you rather throw the baby with the bathing water?
If the PDP is serious for anything, the PDP should go back to the drawing board and look at those ideologies that made the founding fathers of the party found the party. It's painful that most of the founding fathers of the party are no more here. Most of them have gone to the war the year after. But those that are still around, that's why I talk about grooming people, grooming younger people. If you have groomed younger people to understand the process and allow younger people, you find out that before now, if not for this past time, you find out that the youth leader of the party is someone who is over 50, 60 years old, and is the youth leader of the party. You imagine, but this is the first time, at least they even tried to bring in a young man to actually become the youth leader. So the party should go back. I should be talking more of APC, which is the party I belong to, not the PDP. The PDP should go back and deal with their problems. An internal problem is their problem.
But why did you leave the PDP in the first place?
I left the PDP because it's simple. I was one man. Whenever I had this opportunity, I always said I was one man who was on national TV saying if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was my father, I would have been on every TV station and every radio station telling Nigerians not to vote for him. But after the election, I said it not long that I am an advocate for peace and good governance. After the election and the swearing of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I saw the programs and policies of his administration, it is morally right for me to align with him and begin to give him all the support I can give at the grassroots level, and what I'm doing exactly to let people, to enlighten people to understand that this government means well for the people. This government means has the interest of the people at heart. Because in the PDP there was no hope for the younger generation. In the PDP, you find out that even ordinary party positions you want to vie for, they don't allow we young people to even have a say in it. So what would I be doing in such a party? I have to align where, because I'm a young progressive politician, I have to align where I know that my voice will be heard, where I know that my contributions will be taken, where I know that I'll be reckoned with when government is doing anything to better the lives of people. So that's why I left the PDP, and I'm happy I left the PDP, because imagine what the PDP has turned into. Thank God I left the PDP when I left the PDP.
So you're glad you
yes,
what if APC is thrown into some sort of internal crisis, just like PDP is going? Would you still leave the APC?
No. I didn't just leave the PDP because of the internal crisis. I left the PDP because I found out that in the APC, as a young progressive politician, the APC administration was delivering on the mandate they promised the people of Nigeria: removal of subsidy, coming up with economic policies that will better the lots of the people, dealing decisively with insecurity. I put it to you that since the insecurity crisis in this country, this is the first time, this is the first administration that has gave a decisive blow to bandits and their leaders and the rest of them, has been able to face insecurity headlong, and is giving and we're having results on a daily basis. Yes, there are pockets of crisis and pockets of killing here, and there's no doubt about that. But you all know that this is, if it's not because it was a guerrilla warfare, if it was a face-to-face battle, by now the issue of insecurity would have been. And I call on every Nigerian: security issue is every man's business. Every Nigerian, he sees something, say something, and our security agencies should have that synergy whereby they will be able to share intelligence within themselves and nip insecurity on the board. I want a situation whereby we won't even have issues of losing any life, not of the citizens and not even of our security personnel, whereby we'll have enough intelligence, where there will be enough intelligence gathering, whereby the security agents will be able to, even before the strike, would have been able to attack, before they attack, would have been able to strike and make sure they eliminate all those elements, all those non-state actors that are causing insecurity in the country. So this government is doing well. This government is out to better the lots of the people. I kept saying it, that by the time we get into 2026, we'll begin to see more. The farming season has just begun. By the end of this farming season, there will be much food for people to eat, and the issue of food crisis would have been a thing of the past. And we'll be increasing, things will be getting better on a daily basis. It's a gradual process. It's a long-term plan. And I know Nigerians will be grateful that we had a president in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as time goes on.
Okay, so are there things that would happen, or if this administration, the party, your party, the APC, if it moves away or deviates from its ideology, would you leave the party? Would you exist?
If the APC moves away, there's no even way we will leave our ideology. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Give me a moment. Hello, good evening. Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Thank you. My name is Friday. I'm calling from Abuja.
Friday from Abuja. Please go ahead.
I greet the young man in the studio.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, although I just tuned in, but I've been following your analysis. You keep hitting on the PDP, only for me to know that you're an APC faithful. That's good, but let me take it from where I joined from.
Okay.
You said that when Bola Tinubu was actually running for this presidential seat, that you said that if you were your father, that you would have gone on national television to tell Nigerians not to vote for him. And let me ask you, do you not thought about his political ideology before saying that word? Maybe secretly and openly now you are saying it because you have become or cross-carpet from PDP to APC. Now you are beginning to align that you have a political ideology that you align with. And there's a question that threw to you again. You say, no, you didn't actually leave PDP, but you left PDP because they were not leaving the seat, the other seat for the younger generations. I want to ask you, my brother, 3 questions I want to throw back to you. What have this APC, let me talk about this present administration, talking about Ahmed Bola Tinubu, 2 years now. Can you just point out some vital things that really benefit Nigerians, the commoners, who actually put him here on that seat? And secondly, you also said that APC prepares seats, other seats, I don't know the seats you're talking about for younger generation. Can you actually point out those seats you're actually emphasizing on that APC, is actually reserving for younger generations? And you that actually left PDP to carpet to APC, what seats have they reserved for you? Thank you. I'm listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me start from the last question. He talked about where are the seats being reserved for the young people. I'll use my state where I come from for an example.
Okay.
I'm from Kogi State. He can make his findings. In Kogi State, from the Speaker of the State Assembly, I don't want to even start from the governor of Kogi State to the Speaker and down to every member of the State Assembly, none of them is above 45 years. We've never had it like this before. I'm giving you practical.
How does that align with the ideology of APC? Because
I said they made room for young people. I just gave him an example. When it comes to appointments in my state, young people have occupied basically every appointment being done by this administration. Then when it comes to the national, we have more younger ministers under the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration than we've ever had before. We have younger people. Most of his media men are young people. When it comes to head of the agencies, are young people. I'll give you an example of Minister of the Digital Economy is a young man. The Minister of Interior is a young man. He's less than 45. I think he's just 42 years old. I put it to you, the Minister of Youth, for the first time under this administration, we have a Minister of Youth that is actually a youth. We have not had it like this before. I keep mentioning for you, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, I think is in his early 50s. We have not had it like this before. So this administration believes in the younger generation. And that's why I will keep on advocating, and that's why I'm telling Nigerians why we should give this administration all the support. I said that before now I was in the opposition, and I was only privy to the informations that the opposition wanted me to know. But I felt that as someone who is learned, I should go off and also read more. It is said that if you want to write something from a Nigerian and put it in the book, I have to now go and even study what did this man do when he was in Lagos. Where was Lagos State before he became governor? And I saw that this man came up with a master plan for Lagos State in 1999. That is every successive government has been working with, and we can see that Lagos is being transformed on a daily basis. The GDP of this country, Lagos State alone has about close to 50% of the GDP of this nation. So these were things that he put in place. If he was able to do that in Lagos, why not allow him to do it at the national
stage? All right, the time is no longer on our side. But before we go, I want to ask you this one question. This month, it's the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is just 2 years, and we're still 2 years ahead of 2027. But we saw last week, during the APC National Summit that took place in the presidential villa, we saw the the Senate presidents and other APC leaders endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a sole candidate for the 2027. And Nigerians are asking, isn't it too early to talk about 2027 election, whereas there are so many problems to fix in Nigeria?
No, it's not too early to talk about 2027. I think what the leaders of the National Assembly did was the best thing to be done, and what every leader of the party is doing.
So you don't think it's so early to already endorse?
What we are doing is,
endorse.
We don't want this distraction of trying to get another candidate to replace Mr. President in 2027. Mr. President will like what you are doing with
so, but then what happens to the vote of the people? It will be, we believe that Nigerians are to decide.
What they did is a party thing. The Senate President, the Speaker, and all of them, and the governors are the representatives of the people.
Nigerians may want someone else still from APC.
At the party level, we have done that. When we are done, by the time it is official time for campaign, we begin to tell them, that is what I'm also doing, enlightening Nigerians to know what is happening, to let Nigerians know what this administration is doing. For them,
don't you think they should be more focused?
Most times people, that's what they are doing.
I think you missed. Don't you think the APC should be more focused on dealing with certain issues than talking about?
We are dealing with those issues, and we don't want the distraction of choosing a candidate. That's why we are saying.
Give me a moment to have someone with the program. Hello, good evening. I'm glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you. From Abuja calling back.
Okay.
My brother, don't be afraid. If APC parade credible men who can deliver this country, please don't be afraid. And you have not answered the third question. What have this administration have put or impact in Nigerians, or what can we boast of under 2 years that this is what this man is to have done, that Nigerians have benefit from his administration? You get sick. I want to remind you of one word you said, that we talked about food, and in next year, we say in the next 2 years there will be food, that Nigerians, I wonder how APC can provide food for everybody. How are they going to do it? Are they going to, under this administration, I expected them to have a price control, which is not forthcoming. So how do you think that APC is going to, bring food or put food on Nigeria's table without doing the necessary or taking the necessary step? So please ask me, what have this administration done under 2 years?
Thank you. And please just sit back and listen while he responds to your question.
I think because you came in late, that's why you have not heard most of the things after this administration have done. I talked about the president being in Katsina some few weeks back to commission their agricultural program for Katsina State. Niger State, my host state, Governor Bago, the farmer governor, is doing excellently well when it comes to agriculture. He's investing massively in agriculture. Lagos State is also doing excellently well agricultural-wise. There's this partnership between Sokoto and Lagos State when it comes to rice production and the rest of them. My state, where I come from, my own state, Kogi State, when it comes to administration, the governor is investing massively in the agricultural sector. He talked about at the national level. The president was in Brazil some few, I think last year, and there were a lot of partnerships, and most of those, over 2,000 tractors and more, have already arrived in Nigeria, which will be rolled out in this farming season to bet. I told him, I'm saying it and I'm saying it again, let me tell you now, food prices are on the decline. People went to hoard, we heard it from the president, people went to hoard food, thinking that the price of food will go up so that they can make more profit. But when they find out that the policies of this administration is beginning to yield results, the prices of those food, they had no choice than to begin to bring them out. And the price of food is crashing on the daily basis. Now, he talked about how is it affecting the loss of Nigeria. I talked about the project. Look at the FCT alone. Look at the massive project going on in the FCT. This is the result of this administration commitment to.
Ambassador, I'll have to cut you there because our time is up already. But in few seconds, I just want to I still want to repeat the same question which I've thrown to you. We can see so many things that we are challenged with as a country. We talk about insecurity as we speak into in this day. A lot of Nigerians barely go to sleep with their eyes closed. We talk about the educational sector, there's the health sector is there. And I'm curious, just like a lot of Nigerians are curious, isn't it so soon, rather than fixing all these things and, keep talking about 2027 election? We
are fixing all these things. Let me start with the educational sector. Under this administration, going to 2 years, ASU has not gone on strike. It has not happened since the return of democracy since 1999. Why? Because of the government policies. And having a president that has a listening ear that listens and make sure that he meets the earning of our lecturers. We talk of the net fund, which is the student loan
Are you sure also hasn't gone on strike? Because I could remember there was just few days strike, even as a last month, as last month. Thank you very much. I think you have to go. You have to go back to your fact check and confirm that.
To you, also go and fact check. You said also I've not gone on strike in the past 2 years. So
yes, thank you for so much for sticking around with us, and this is where we'll have to draw the curtain for today's program. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I must confess, even though we had it a little bit heated, I must say thank you for coming. It's been wonderful having you around. We'll come away some other time. I remember Messi, Emily, may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have yourself a wonderful evening.